Michael, we are talking a lot about value. What does that exactly mean when we are talking about people in our workshops?
It's a critical question because value is at the heart of the offer, the coaching offer in ReThink, but also at the heart of the Edgeware business, where we've designed tools and ways of processing those tools where value is estimated not just financially, but also personally and then socially. Hence, make money, have fun, change the world. And I'm curious now, talking about it, what interests you, because I know very early on when we were discussing this that make money, have fun, change the world um, DNA was attractive to you.
Hmm. Yes, exactly. And what I like about it, and especially using the word value. So we're going away from what are you good at? What can you sell? To more like what kind of value do you offer and what kind of value do you want to offer to your surrounding? And what I really like about this thinking, this edgeware thinking, is that it's so much more about the hardcore products
Hmm.
or hardcore services. It's much more what kind of value do I add? Because all of a sudden you have your life, your whole life, you have a much more holistic way of looking at it. So at the one end, of course, make money. What can I sell? What can I earn money on? How can I pay my rent? But also have fun. Trying to do the best I want to really be passionate about what I'm doing, and change the world. All of a sudden, you have something in, so you could say to yourself or ask yourself, what kind of value do I add to my family? What kind of value do I bring in to my friends? And then, of course, what kind of value do I add to the job I'm doing in the company I'm working for or in the company I've built up myself?
Everything has relational value. Like what gives it value is the fact that there's a consumer, an end user, an enjoyer of the benefit, a beneficiary of that value. That's how you know it has value. Value is not something that sits in a box on a shelf that you bring down and open up. Value is something that is negotiated. So something will only have value if somebody tells you it has value. And certainly if they're ready to exchange something of value, usually money in a business,
Mm,
but it
mm,
doesn't have to just be money, in order to enjoy that thing of value that you bring into the world. So it's those three questions. What is it? What is the thing of value that you bring into the world? Who is it for? Who is the beneficiary and end user of that value? And what is the nature of that value? How would you describe that? And this is one of the three key tools, of course, that we use in ReThink.
And what comes on top of that, what I find really exciting, is one thing is that you get more aware of what kind of value do I bring into the world, but does the world recognize that?
Yeah.
So, for instance, I might be very well aware what kind of value I bring into my product if I'm a self-employed, or I bring into my work. But does my team or my boss recognize that I'm actually bringing in that value? So,
Yes.
spending time is once I get clear about that, how will they notice that I'm actually
Yes.
bringing that value in and that this value makes a difference?
Yes. And how might I express that really simply in the simplest possible language? So how might we, well, in our process, for example, we make two lists. One is a list of the values which my business, my practice, my life brings into the world. The second list is the list of people or customers or end users who benefit from that value. And then we choose the process, the logic is to choose at least to begin with, if we're looking at changing lanes and making the changes that ReThink imagines, then we look at who is the key customer or the key user or the key beneficiary of the key thing of value I bring into the world,
Mm.
because those two things are going to be the core of my change. So I need to promote this thing of value to this group of people who enjoy that, whether that's an investor, a boss, bank manager, a grant funder, or a conventional customer, or people in my family. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
how do I
Yeah.
express that to those people in 2 sentences?
And I like that because I love that. It's a very great way of doing a reality check because one thing is, what do I want to offer as a
Yeah,
value? What do I see as a value? But the other thing is, as a matter of fact, what's needed or what are
yes,
the other ones looking for? It doesn't matter whether it's the family, what do they look for that I bring in? But also
yes.
the company, my work, if I'm employed, or my company, if it's my company, what value is needed compared to what value do I want to bring in the most, and how can we combine these two things?
I love that question in the solution focus process of if these changes occur. So if you move towards your preferred future, how do you know? What are people telling you? What do others notice and they tell you that they've noticed in terms of the change, you know?
Mm.
So it decenters yourself, you know, it is certainly about you, but it's about measuring you in relation to others, as you
Yes,
say.
yes,
And that action reaction process is at the core of it, you know?
yeah.
How does this make meaning for me?
Mm. Action precedes clarity, right?
Indeed, indeed.